Hello friends, and thank you as always for visiting the Legend Sports Universe YouTube channel, Legend Sports Universe, where legends play forever. This is the Franchise Stars Baseball League Game of the Week, July 24th of Year 1 of the FSBL. This matchup features the suddenly red-hot Cleveland Indians. It is about time, is what many people around the league feel. The Indians winning 7 in a row, including the first 2 of this series here against the stumbling Chicago White Sox, who have now dropped 8 straight. We are coming to you live from Comiskey Park in Chicago. The Sox will try to right the ship and stop the Cleveland Indians freight train. The White Sox, there you see, 47-53, 5.5 games back of the Indians. Again, the Indians have taken the first 2 games of this series. You'll see in the offensive stats from this Cleveland squad, their averages, all their offensive numbers really, are far better than the last time we saw them. So the Indians have been doing all this without Napoleon Lajoie, who's actually just back from injury. He had a broken hand. Earlier on in the season, Lajoie had a 23-game hitting streak, snapped shortly before the injury. A couple days after that streak ended, he ended up going on the injured list, so he's just recently back. Starting for the White Sox, Chris Sale, 8-8, 3.89 earned run average. He has pitched well, run into kind of, when he's gotten hurt by the big inning. And this White Sox offense has struggled a bit to support him. Starting off to face him, the shortstop Ray Chapman, batting .307. Fastball there. Misses away. Slider misses away as well. So I apologize. I actually believe Lajoie comes off the injured list tomorrow. I was realizing that against a lefty that if Chapman is playing short, which means Andres Jimenez is probably playing second. So Lajoie is still on the IL. I do know he is coming back soon. I thought he was back in a day. That was probably me looking at it and it saying I checked it on this game day. So one day would actually be tomorrow. And Ray Chapman, not known for his power, unloads on this 3-1 pitch from Chris Sale, and the Indians on the board to start things off here in Chicago. 3rd home run of the year for Chapman, but he did not get cheated there. Tees off, and the Indians have a 1-0 lead. So Ray Chapman is, of course, having a fine year, but man, he put that one out well into the seats. Sale fell behind and paid the price. So here's Andres Jimenez batting .290. Slider gets him to swing and miss. 6 homers, 41 RBIs on the year for Jimenez. Fastball from Sale, swung on and missed. He's ahead of Jimenez 0-2. Jimenez enters, I believe, leading the American League in doubles. Not getting anything there, though, as he swings and misses for the first out. So down goes Jimenez. Here comes Manny Ramirez. Ramirez, like so many guys on this Indians roster, horrible numbers early in the season, finally getting themselves on track. Ramirez, .269. Still not where you would expect Manny, but much better than he was. 18 homers, 56 RBIs. Riding a 9-game hitting streak as he enters the day here. Sale delivers 1-0 pitch. Ramirez goes the other way, lines a base hit into right. So Manny's hitting streak now at 10 games. Sale has allowed hits to 2 of the first 3 that he's faced. So here comes Larry Doby. Again, Doby Yet another guy in this Indians roster, not to beat a dead horse, but Dolby was hitting about 210 the last time we saw them. He's now at 252. He's got 20 homers, 56 RBIs. So again, this kind of rising tide for the Indians has put them out ahead in the division. This division has basically seen the top 4 teams other than the remarkably disappointing Detroit Tigers. But the Twins and the Royals have pitched great. The Twins' offense has actually been a bit surprising. The White Sox have been in the hunt, and those 4 teams have all been within 5 games of each other pretty much for the duration. But the feeling coming into the year was that the Indians were the best of the lot, and they might be finding their way here around the 100-game mark. See if that can carry them through the rest of the season. 2-2 here as Sale works to Doby. Manny on first. Doby hits this one out to right. Going back. It is off the wall. Ramirez held up, and now he's going to try to go. Manny trying to go to third, and he's gunned down. So Ramirez froze, and then once it became clear that that ball was going to land, he took too long to get going again. Poor base running by Manny Ramirez. Good relay in from fielder Jones. Joe Creedy slaps on the tag, and there's 2 men down. Well, Manny, never a particularly good base runner. That kind of comes through on that one. Double for Doby. Here's Jose Ramirez. 290, 12 homers, 36 RBIs. So what should be second and third with 1 out is now man on second with 2 outs. Ramirez, 1 hopper, down to Creedy at third. Throws over to first, and the side is retired. So the Indians get 1, but that could have gone a lot worse for the White Sox. We head to the bottom of the first. Cleveland 1, Chicago coming up. Ray Chapman with the bat flip. Well, you see bat flips from a guy with 3 homers. Here's Sam McDowell. McDowell has frankly been terrible. 5-9, a 5.46 earned run average. He's been hittable. He's walked almost, I guess, about 4.5, more than 4.5. I'm at 5 guys per 9 innings, and has put himself into a rough spot despite the fact that he's 3rd in the league in strikeouts. Here's Eddie Collins. Collins got an all-star nod, 337, 2nd in the league in batting. Collins will step in to face McDowell, an uncomfortable lefty to do battle with. First pitch, high strike call. Collins watches that one go by. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Pitch from McDowell. Collins squares, misses by quite a wide margin for a good bunter like Eddie Collins. Count goes to 1-2. McDowell delivers. Slider gets him. Swung on and missed by Collins. McDowell fans Collins to open things up here in the bottom of the first. So that'll bring up fielder Jones. Jones batting .288. Curveball misses away. 1 homer, 9 RBIs for Jones. Jones was out for a while with injury as well. The White Sox have dealt with a few injuries this year. They lost shoeless Joe Jackson for a stretch, too. Fastball there misses inside. Count goes to 2-0. So 2-0 the count here to Jones. McDowell from the set. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Fastball at the top of the zone in there for a called strike. It's 2-1. delivers again. Foul ball down the left side. Should get into the stands. Count goes to 2-2. McDowell sets. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Blows Jones away for out number 2. Guys, got to change that about McDowell. It's kind of working from the stretch all the time, which is incorrect. So we'll rectify that situation after this game is over. Here's Shoeless Joe Jackson. 317. Jackson missed some time with injury, but he is back and swinging the bat well. 11 homers, 25 RBIs for Jackson. Losing him, obviously, a big blow to this White Sox offense, which has struggled this season. Fastball again. Pumping the top of that zone. McDowell can do that, but be in the zone rather than wild. He will be effective. He brings the heat, no doubt. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. McDowell dialing it up. Ahead of Jackson 1-2. Such a tough pitcher to face as a lefty. That one. Off-speed pitch. Jackson just gets the tip of the bat on it to foul it off. Count stays at 1-2. There's the pitch. Another one fouled off. So Jackson trying to hang tough here against McDowell, who seems to be throwing well here in this outing. Slider swung on and missed. Strike 3. And down go the White Sox. So McDowell strikes out the side. We're through 1 here at Comiskey. Indians 1, White Sox nothing. Stepping in, Victor Martinez. Martinez named in the All-Star game. 265, 9 homers, 34 RBIs. He will step in to face Sale to start the second. There's a shot out into the gap in right center. Martinez hits this ball well. Way back there, it's off the wall. Didn't miss a homer by much. Martinez will chug into second with a leadoff double here in the top of the second inning, and the Indians once again have a runner in scoring position. Good piece of hitting there by Martinez, driving that ball into the right center gap. Nice job by Jones playing it off the wall quickly. Here's Jim Thome, 322. Thome has been outstanding all season. Fastball in there for a called strike. 27 homers, 70 runs batted in, with 70 RBIs, 6th in the American League. 1053 OPS. Slider from Sale way outside. 1-1 the count. Sale from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses way up high. It's 2-1. Here's the delivery. Changeup misses down low. Luke Easter waits on deck. 3-1 the count. There's the pitch. Line the other way. Down the left field line. Slicing away. Diving effort by Carl Reynolds. Can't come up with it, but it lands foul. So the count is full. Slider swung on a miss. Thome way out in front of it, and there's the strikeout for Sale. Check out the sequence, going with fastball to slider, another fastball up high, change up down low, another fastball low, then goes to the slider. Good job working all the way around there by Sale. So he fans Thome for the first out. Here's Luke Easter. First pitch swing, fly ball out to center. Fielder Jones underneath it puts it away. Martinez, not fleet of foot, will not make any attempt to tag up there. So 2 down. Here's Michael Brantley. Brantley out in right field today, batting .295, 7 homers, 43 runs batted in. Sale delivers. Brantley up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Martinez chugs around third. Jones comes in for the throw. It's going to be up the third base line. Martinez scores, and the Indians have a 2-0 lead on the RBI single by Michael Brantley. So good piece of hitting by Brantley. Here comes Ray Chapman. As the order rolls over, Chapman, his 3rd home run of the season, led off this game. Brantley being checked on first there by Sale. Now he deals. Fastball misses up high, 1-0. 5 for 12 for Chapman with the home run. 5 runs batted in this series. Again, the Indians have won 7 straight coming into this one. Changeup misses down low. Apologize. I think I said the Indians had surged out to the divisional lead at this point. But I believe the Twins have actually been able to keep pace with them. There's Andres Jimenez on deck. Indians had actually gotten themselves in a little bit of a hole before this recent win streak. Chapman, ground ball to the right-hand side. Collins flips it to Ramirez, covering second, and the side is retired. But the Indians get another run on Brantley's RBI single. 5 hits off Sale through the first 2. We head to the bottom of the second. Indians 2, White Sox nothing. So leading it off for Chicago, Zeke Bonora. Bonora .293. 14 homers, 48 runs batted in so far this season. McDowell deals. Fastball. Misses up high, 1-0. One popped foul down the right field line. Gets to the ground, no play on it, counts 1-1. There's the pitch, nice curveball from McDowell. Bonora misses it, counts now 1-2. Breaking ball, ground ball to third. In the hole, Chapman backhands, knocks it down. Doesn't have a play, though. It's an infield single for Zeke Bonora to lead things off here in the bottom of the second. So Bonora on first with the lead-off hit. That'll bring up Happy Felsch. Felsch .255 on the year. Fastball for McDowell in there for a strike at the knees. Sorry, .235. Does have a 10-game hitting streak, though. 11 homers, 48 RBIs. 0-1 pitch here from McDowell. Fly ball out to center. Doby ranges a little bit to his right, puts it away for out number 1. So easy play there for Doby. I'll bring up Carl Reynolds. Reynolds .217, 9 homers, 20 runs batted in for him. A few low averages in the bottom end of this White Sox order. First pitch from McDowell, fastball misses down low. There's a fastball, blows that one past him. So 1-1 here as McDowell works to Reynolds. Bottom of the second from Comiskey Park, 2-0 Indians. McDowell delivers. That one's a line shot, well foul. 1-2 the count. I want to see if there's a better old Comiskey Park in the vault. Again, this is MLB The Show 22, not 23. Snap throw down to first. After the block in the dirt. Nothing doing there. Counts even at 2 apiece. Fly ball out to right center. Doby ranging again. He'll get there. Puts it away for out number 2. So 2 retired. Here comes Alexei Ramirez. Ramirez, 271, 6 homers, 23 runs batted in on the year. He has been ice cold in July after a strong June. 318 in June, 224 in July. As we enter the final week. 0-1 the count. Pitch here from McDowell. Off-speed pitch, sails outside, 1-1. So I do apologize. I erroneously said early on that the Indians had caught for the division lead. They're still a game behind the Twins, despite the 7-game winning streak. Fly ball Ramirez out to left. Easy play. Manny comes on, puts it away, and the side is retired. So we're through 2 here in Chicago. 2-0 Cleveland. Jimenez, Ramirez, and Doby coming up for the Indians. Andres Jimenez 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up.
The second baseman, number 0.
Slider in there for a called strike. You see Jimenez 31 doubles, leading the American League. He has been productive. Slash the other way, and there's a base hit. So Jimenez on again. On again as far as the context of the season. As I mentioned, he did strike out his first time up. So here comes Manny Ramirez. Ramirez singled his first time up to keep his 10-game hitting streak intact. Pitch from Sale. Sale has not been on his game in this one. He's minimized damage, but he is not fooling anybody in the Cleveland lineup. Behind Ramirez here, 1-0. Fastball in on the corner. Manny has grounded into 14 double plays so far this season. Ramirez, part of what helped Sale minimize the damage. His first time up with a base-running blunder, getting thrown out third after holding up on the double into the gap. I believe that was a Victor Martinez double. Misread it off the bat. Ramirez hits this one out to center. Fielder Jones coming on, puts it away for out number 1. So Ramirez is retired.
Number 14.
That brings up Larry Doby. I'm sorry, it was Doby's double. That's right. Martinez hit a double to lead off an inning. So Ramirez was thrown out on Doby's double earlier on. Pitch here from Sale. Fastball right down the heart of the plate. Doby will watch it go by, 0-1. So the next broadcast will be July 31st, which is also the trade deadline day. in the context of this league, there's probably not going to be much, if any, movement at the trade deadline because there's no contract expiring, and everybody's contract is the lowest I can possibly make it because I didn't want finances to really play a role in how this league developed. Because eventually down the line, as more and more top players enter the league, that would really pose a problem with teams. When I had done a Franchise Stars league, the last time I really did the Franchise Stars project, which I guess was the show 18 or 19, it went great for a few years, but then you had the top players like Aaron and Ruth and stuff wouldn't be signed because nobody could afford them. So I didn't want to run myself into that problem again. So when I started this off, every player is signed for the amount of years he was with the franchise, up until 10. That's the max contract you can give, and signed for the minimum contract amount. As Dobie draws the walk. So here's Jose Ramirez, grounded out his first time up. So because everybody is on a very cheap, affordable contract, and they're signed for multi-years, the trade deadline is probably not going to be a big deal in this league for a couple of years at least, I would think. But obviously, if anything happens at the deadline, I will certainly make note of it. Sale fastball in there. He's ahead of Ramirez, 0-2. First and second, one out here in the top of the third. Change up. Off the plate and down. Ramirez chases it, though, trying to protect. Fouls it off. We stay at 0-2. Slider there. Fly ball to right. Lazy fly ball. Put away by shoeless Joe Jackson. Gets the throw in, 2 down. So here's Victor Martinez. Martinez doubled and scored his first time up. 6 for 10 in the series. Fastball misses inside. I like these old White Sox unis. They don't have the old pajama ones like with the shorts, which are god-awful. But if they had those, I'd put the guys in those, too. Just because they're funny. 1-1, the count here to Martinez. Sale delivers. Shot down the right field line. That's trouble if it's fair. Slicing, just foul. Martinez just missing what probably would have turned into a 2-run double. Pulls this one down the left side. Fielded by Creedy behind the bag. Long throw to first. Gets Martinez. And the side is retired. So Cleveland has 6 hits through 3 rather. Only 2 runs to show for it. Sale walking the tightrope. We head to the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 Indians. Here's Joe Creedy, 218, 10 homers, 36 runs batted in. Fastball misses up high. There's the pitch. Change up in there for a call. Strike. It's 1-1. Good curveball there from McDowell down in the dirt. Creedy chases it, though. He's now behind 1-2. Pitch from McDowell. Curveball just misses outside. 2-2 the count. Slider didn't break, stays away. So the count is full here to Creedy, leading off the bottom of the third. Fastball fouled off into the seats. Count stays at 3-2. McDowell deals. Another one punched by Creedy down the first base line, but foul. McDowell looking for a finishing pitch here. Breaking ball. Creedy stays with it. So this will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Good battle here between Sam McDowell and Joe Creedy. Got him. Went with another curveball. So McDowell goes largely to the breaking stuff against Creedy there. Gets him for the strikeout. Nice pitch from McDowell. Who to this point has seemed on his game. Here's Jim Essien, the catcher. Essien batting .267. Fastball. McDowell blows him away with that one. Strike one. 2 homers, 9 RBIs. Fastball. Punched out into right. It's falling, but it's going to stay up long enough for Brantley to get there for out number 2. Good read on that ball by Michael Brantley, who was shading the other way against Essien. So the order rolls over. Here's Eddie Collins. Collins 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Curveball from McDowell in there for a strike. McDowell delivers. In there, another breaking ball. So McDowell, this inning, going to a lot of the off-speed stuff, rather than just trying to overpower guys. And he gets a slider past Collins, who strikes out for the 2nd time. A rarity, to say the least. But Collins goes down swinging. We're a third of the way through in Chicago. Indians lead the White Sox 2-0. Here's Jim Thome. Thome 0 for 1. Checking around the league. Mets lead the Padres 4-3 in the 6th. Gary Templeton, surprising home run, 3-run shot for the Padres. Darryl Strawberry's driven in a pair for the Mets. Rockies and Brewers tied at 2 in the 3rd. Todd Helton has hit his 17th for the Rockies. Jonathan Lucroy has hit his 7th for the Brewers. Cardinals up 3-0 on the Reds. Cardinals stay hot. In that NL Central, Jim Edmonds, his 27th home run of the year for St. Louis. Phillies up on the Cubs 4-2 in the 6th. Phil Cavarretta, his 2nd home run of the year for the Cubs. Ryan Howard, his 17th for the Phillies as Thome goes down for the first out here in the 4th. Pirates over the Marlins 2-1 in the 6th. Expos and Diamondbacks, apparently delayed at the start. Max Scherzer and Omar Dahl will be the pitching matchup there. Slider punched foul into the seats. Luke Easter 0 for 1. Slider way out of the zone. 1-1 the count. Off-speed pitch swung on and missed. Or I should say fouled on. Tipped that one. So 1-2 pitch here from Sale to Easter. Slider down and away, 2-2. Sale's had to work. He's already at 56 pitches. Slider there, fouled off. It's been a laborious start here for Sale. He has been able to minimize the damage, though. Things could be a lot worse for him. Swung grounded to short, fielded by Ramirez. Throw over to first, and he gets him 2 men down.
Number 8.
So here's Michael Brantley. Brantley with an RBI single his first time up. Sale delivers. Fastball in there for a called strike. Fastball blows that one past Brantley, so Sale quickly ahead of Brantley 0-2 here. 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Fastball misses away. Changeup, fouled off. Count stays at 1-2. Fastball freezes Brantley at the knees. Strike 3 called. Brantley goes down looking. He thought that was low. Ump disagrees, and that's the only thought that matters. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Indians 2, White Sox nothing. Really annoyed that I missed this with Sam McDowell pitching from the stretch all the time when I was testing things out. But I will fix that once this game is done. McDowell delivers. Bunt laid down. Charging. Throw from Ramirez. Gets him. Nice play, Jose Ramirez. So Fielder Jones tries to bunt his way on. Ramirez having none of it. And there's one down. See, results from yesterday's games. Complete game win for Catfish Hunter for the A's. Carlos Beltran drives in 6 as the Mets beat the Padres. Bernard Gilkey, who's been ice cold, getting a couple hits there for the Mets. Shot out here to left. Manny underneath it, puts it away for the second out. Leon Bulldarn breaking out of his slump for the Cubbies as well. The Cubs have kind of gone into a bit of a free fall. Some roster moves. The Red Sox had a couple of moves recently. They've called up Dom DiMaggio. Take the place Pete Reynolds has been sent down to the minors in Boston. Zeke Benora steps in. Twins have called up Jorge Polanco. They've sent Eddie Yost down to the minor leagues. Fastball misses inside, 2-0 the count. Twins also called up Buddy Lewis. There has to be an offsetting roster move there, unless maybe somebody with the Twins may have gotten injured. I wish they put injuries in the crawl, but they haven't. Yankees up 5-1 on the Orioles. Charlie Keller has a home run in that game. Red Sox over the Blue Jays 3-0. Rangers and A's scoreless in the first. Now you see Sam McDowell. He's been terrific so far. Struck out 5, no walks, big for him. 3 2/3. He's only allowed 2 hits. So good work out of McDowell so far. Ground ball here to short. Chapman flips to second. They go the short way, get the force, and the side is retired. Through 4 in Chicago. Chapman, Jimenez, and Ramirez coming up top of the Indians' order as we head to the 5th. It's 2-0 Cleveland. So Ray Chapman homered to start off this game, his 3rd home run of the year. Changeup in there for a called strike. Borderline pitch. Chapman looking a bit incredulously at the umpire. But that won't change anything. And Chapman lays down a bunt, and it's a beauty. Essien pounces on it. Throw to first. He's not going to get him. So Ray Chapman, a bunt base hit. Does it with the big shot. Does it with the little shot. Perfect bunt there. Essien got out there pretty quickly, but unable to get Chapman. So here's Andres Jimenez, 1 for 2. Again, Napoleon Lajoie has been injured for Cleveland. He is due to return. Lodgeway had a 23-game hitting streak shortly before he was injured. His kind of getting his act together coincided with the Indians starting to play better ball. 1-0 count here. Sale throws over to Benora. Chapman back easily. Out in the West, the A's have a 21-game lead over the California Angels. Runner goes, pitch out, Essian's throw, just no chance to get him. Chapman got a good break. Essian's throw, not a poor one, but no chance to get him. So Chapman at second, 2-0, nobody out here in the top of the fifth. Fastball misses down low. Manny Ramirez waits on deck. In the National League East, the Mets have taken over the division lead there. Shocking given how poorly they started the year. But they're up 1.5 games on the Braves, 2 on the Expos, 4.5 on the Phillies. Again, 4 of the 6 division races are tight here. The Cardinals, we still consider that tight. The Cardinals do have a 6-game lead there on the Pirates, but the Reds and Cubs have fallen on hard times. They're both down below 500. Reds 9.5 games out, Cubs 10 games out. So it's first and second now. The walk. Here's Manny Ramirez. And Sale walking the tightrope once again. The Giants have opened up a 10.5 game lead on the Dodgers. The Dodgers, again, playing terrific ball. They're playing .570 baseball. Joe Benz and Reb Russell throwing in the White Sox bullpen. But the Giants have been exceptional. Fastball freezes Ramirez 1-1. Fastball up and in. Ramirez swings and misses. Sale ahead of him 1-2. This is a big out here. Big hitter for Sale to battle. Here's the pitch. Way inside. Slider gets away from him a bit. Count goes to 2-2. And Ramirez, deep drive to left. If it's fair, it's gone. And that ball is out of here. Manny Ramirez goes deep. Home run number 19 on the season. And Sale falls off the tightrope. 3-run shot for Ramirez. And this is now a 5-0 Cleveland Indians lead. So Manny gets a hold of that one. Well into the seats and left, and Sale knew it. Sale disgusted with himself, and that will be the end of Chris Sale's day here in Chicago. So Ramirez knocks Sale out. The Indians continue their hot run. Here's Joe Benz, his 13th appearance of the season. Benz 2-0, a 4.6 earned run average. He will come in and try to keep the Indians at bay to give the Sox a chance to get back into this one.
The batter, number 14.
Fastball from Benz on the outside corner. Doby 1 for 1, doubled back in the first. Ball from Benz. The first home run of the series for Cleveland. That Ramirez long ball. Check out your American League leaders. Ken Griffey Jr., 39 home runs. He's up 11 on Mike Trout and Lou Gehrig. And Eddie Murray, who have 28. Jim Thome of these Indians has 27. Ground ball up the middle. Collins has it. Throw over to first for the out. Griffey also leading the American League in RBIs with 89. Mark McGwire has 81. Lou Gehrig with 80. Eddie Murray 75. Manny Machado 71. The Orioles, who are trying to hang in the wild card hunt. Here's Jose Ramirez. Ground ball to short. Fielded by Alexei Ramirez, and the throw, he airmails it. Ramirez airmails the throw. That'll be an error on Alexei Ramirez. Well over the head of Zeke Benora. Nothing Benora could do about this one. Tries to get up, but there is just no opportunity there, and Ramirez doesn't even consider slowing down. He is in at second. So here's Victor Martinez. Martinez 1 for 2. Fly ball out to left. Ramirez goes out into shallow left, tracks it down for the second out.
Now batting, number 25.
Here's Jim Thome. Thome 0 for 2. That one in the dirt. Odd play there. Essien looked like he was going to try to throw down to second, but Collins never broke for the bag. So Essien just kind of throws a weak throw down there to Eddie Collins. Thome fouls this one off. Count at 1 and 2. Knuckleball popped up. Collins underneath it. Should end the inning, and it does. But Manny Ramirez goes deep with a 3-run homer. We're midway through here in Chicago. Indians lead the White Sox 5-0. So here's Carl Reynolds to lead off.
Leading off for the White Sox.
Here in the bottom of the 5th for the White Sox. Reynolds 0 for 1. Sam McDowell now with a 5-0 lead. And looking on his game in this one. Fastball misses up high, 1-0. That one slider in there for a strike, 1-1. Larry Walker leading the National League in RBIs. Willie Mays second. Bryce Harper, Willie Stargell, and Johnny Mize round out your top 5 there. See the leaderboard crawling across the bottom. Lonnie Smith of the Braves leads the National League in stolen bases with 31. Bill Lang of the Cubs, Tommy Harper, Jose Reyes, and Kaz Matsui round out the top 5 in that category. And we will update the standings and leaderboards on the website after the July 31st game. We do it for the first of each month. Clayton Kershaw and Dick Rudolph tied for the league lead in wins in the National League with 13. Line drive there, snagged nicely by Luke Easter for the first out. So here's Alexei Ramirez. Ramirez flew out his first time up. Clayton Kershaw has regained the ERA lead in the National League. Ahead of Tom Seaver, they're battling it out there. David Cohen leads the league in strikeouts. He's got 3 ahead of Randy Johnson, Max Scherzer, Overall, and Dazzy Vance. The remainder is ground ball third, diving stop, knocked down by Ramirez. He's going to have to hurry, and he got him. Great play, Jose Ramirez. Ramirez diving to his left, knocks it down, and was able to react, pick it up quickly, and gun Ramirez out at first. Well done by Ramirez. One of the more underrated players in the current major leagues, I feel like. Here's Joe Creedy. Creedy 0 for 1. Fastball in there for a called strike. It's been a tough slog for Creedy, and it'll be tougher for him next year. The White Sox in the draft picking up Robin Ventura, who pretty much everybody presumes will be the starter here in Chicago next year. Creedy 0 for 2. Fastball misses. Down and in, 1-2 the count. Breaking ball, fouled off down the first base line. Count stays 1-2. McDowell working to Creedy here. Ground ball back to the mound. McDowell snags it, throws over to Easter, and the side is retired. So Sam McDowell continues to be on cruise control here for Cleveland. We're through 5. Indians 5, White Sox nothing. Top of the 6th, Luke Easter will step in. Easter 0 for 2.
The first baseman, number 9.
He is flown out and grounded out in this one. Fastball at the knees. That one's fouled off, so Ben's ahead of Easter 0-2. Ben's in relief of Chris Sale, who, as we said, was kind of dancing the tightrope today. He did not have his best stuff, was able to minimize the damage for a while, but Manny Ramirez's 3-run homer in the 5th ended that. Easter pops it up, Essien sheds the mask and puts it away for out number 1. So here's Michael Brantley. Brantley 1 for 2. Had an RBI single his first time up. Benz deals. Goes to the fastball. Brantley turns it and pulls it foul. That one down in the dirt. 1-1 the count. Knuckleball there. Brantley lines it the other way, just foul. Count is 1-2. I'm trying to remember with Benz if that's a legitimate screwball or if he was throwing a spitball. Don't remember off the top of my head because I kind of used a screwball as the replacement for guys that threw a spitball, since obviously a spitball isn't in the game. There's a shot into center for Brantley. Hangs with the knuckleball there and lines it out in the center. So here comes Ray Chapman. Chapman opened this game with a homer. He's 2 for 3. He had a bunt base hit his last time up. Throw over to first, chasing Brantley back. Throw over to first. Keeping him close. That one in there for a called strike, 0-1. As mentioned, the Indians, despite scoring 12 runs over the first 2 games in this series, hadn't hit a home run until today, where they have hit 2, Chapman and Manny Ramirez. This one in the dirt, blocked nicely by Essien. Brantley won't try to advance. Pitch down low, 2-1 the count. Ground ball down to first. Benora has it. Throws to second to get the force. Ramirez throw back to first, not in time. Chapman gets down the line too well. Good attempt there by Benora. He knew his momentum was taking him a bit towards second, so he decided to whirl and try to make the throw anyway. He also, I think, worried that his momentum was taking him where he would have lost a foot race to the bag against Chapman. Another pitch in the dirt. Another one well blocked by Jim Essien. 1-0 the count here in Andres Gimenez. Indians looking for their 8th straight win. This would be the 9th straight loss for the White Sox. Fans in Chicago getting restless. And this AL Central has underperformed all season. People are just kind of waiting for a team to break out. They assumed it would be the Indians. And that seems to finally be coming to pass. Although the Twins aren't going to give up that division lead easily. The Twins have pitched great. And their hitting has been a surprise. This one is hit well, deep to right. Tracked down by shoeless Joe Jackson on the warning track. Nice play by Jackson. And the side is retired. So we head to the bottom of the 6th. Essien, Collins, and Jones coming up for the White Sox, who trail this one 5-0. Here's Essien. He's 0 for 1. Flew out in the 3rd. Sam McDowell has been on absolute cruise control for the Indians. Popped up. Easter's underneath it. He calls it. Puts it away. First pitch. First out. Here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting, the second baseman, Eddie.
So there's a few guys who were Negro Leaguers who are going to be floating around in the main set as Eddie Collins steps in. Again, each rookie draft, each team is going to get a Negro Leaguer from history going forward. So it's not just the Negro League legends. It's a bunch of, guys who were regulars in the Negro Leagues who are going to get incorporated into this league. So there'll be plenty of low-quality players there, too. But are mediocre players, I should say, in addition to the stars. But guys who made a significant impact on the major league franchises were included with the major league team to start off. Eddie Collins has struck out 3 times today. McDowell has just absolutely owned it. Again, that is not something that is going to happen frequently with Eddie Collins. But McDowell has had his number today. 2 down. Here's Fielder Jones. So like guys like Easter and Doby, who are obviously guys who played in the Negro Leagues, but they had a very significant contribution rankings-wise in the Indians' all-time, stats at each position. So I put them with the Indians. Satchel Paige technically qualified among the top 25 guys. Actually, I don't think he was in the top 25 starters for the Indians, but he was in the top 15, which was my cutoff for guys who qualified as relievers. It's a ground ball to short. Chapman makes the play, and the White Sox go down meekly once again as we head to the top of the 7th. But I wasn't going to bring Satchel Paige into this league as a relief pitcher. So I kind of had to take a little bit of poetic license with that. And so Satchel Paige will end up being a, top-line starter based on his Negro League numbers once, when his number is called in those drafts. So here's Manny Ramirez. Ramirez, a 3-run bomb his last time up. Benz gets ahead of him 0-1 here. Bert Blyleven, complete game in the win for the Twins, who will, at least for another day, hold on to their 1-game lead over the Indians. Angels and Braves tied at 1 in the 6th. Irvin Santana, Jim Whitney, the pitching matchup there. Ramirez grounds out for the first out here in the top of the 7th.
Now batting, number 14.
So here's Larry Doby. Doby, 1 for 2, doubled back in the first, also drew a walk. Doby lines this one the other way, going back on it. Reynolds at the wall, dives, he can't make the play. Doby around first. Doby will be in at second. with a stand-up double. Good effort there from Carl Reynolds, but Doby has his 19th double of the season, his second double of the game. And again, the Indians, just as a collective, offensively struggled for the first 2 months and change of the season. Really, mostly 3 months. But their offense has come alive here in July. Here's Jose Ramirez. And I'm realizing as I look at him, I gotta go and double check Ramirez, because Ramirez is a switch hitter, so he should be hitting lefty here. So I gotta go in and fix that, which is a bit annoying. Ground ball, base hit into right field, brings home the run. Doby comes around to score. Ramirez has the RBI single, and it's a 6-0 game. I believe I've seen Ramirez hit lefty though. Does this game actually do? Because it was a relatively common thing where you had a lot of guys hit from, like, not switch it up against knuckleballers. That's the kind of little thing that the show would actually get right while screwing up some of the other stuff that it messes up. But I got to double check that. But I got to believe I would have noticed Jose Ramirez not switch hitting. Because I could have sworn his hit. Yeah, I got to check that. But I digress. So here's Victor Martinez. Martinez 1 for 2. 1-1 the count. Jose Ramirez on first. Spitter swung on and missed for the strike, 1-2. I don't have my Nair James pitching guide in arm's reach to go and check whether that's supposed to be a screwball or a spitball there. Collins Rangers makes the play there on the weak little humpback liner. There's 2 down. Here's Jim Thome. First pitch in there for a called strike. Ben's on again in relief of Chris Sale, who was knocked out after a 3-run homer from Manny Ramirez back in the 5th. Lou Gehrig has gone deep for his 28th for the Yankees. Pedro Martinez gets the win for the Red Sox over the Blue Jays. Red Sox win 3-2. That Yankees-Red Sox matchup is going to be a tight race all the way down the line. Both teams will make the playoffs, though. Just a matter of who will get the division and who will get the wild card. Thome swings and misses. That one's in the dirt. Essien will throw it down to first to complete it, but that retires the side. 7th inning stretch time here in Chicago. Indians lead the White Sox 6-0. In bottom of the 7th to go, shoeless Joe Jackson steps up. Jackson 0 for 2. He is struck out and flown out. McDowell still in. Only 71 pitches through 6. So he's on cruise control here. Slider to Jackson in for strike 1. McDowell looks in and delivers. That one yanked foul by Jackson. So the count goes to 0-2. McDowell has gotten ahead of just about every hitter on the day. And it gets Jackson chasing that slider out of the zone. So McDowell just continues to be on cruise control here.
Number 17.
His fastball is always good, but his breaking stuff, he's been able to locate it very well today. And that has been huge for him. Again, control problems have been an issue for him this season, leading to his lofty ERA. So here's Zeke Benora. Benora is 2 for 2. He's got a pair of singles. He's 5 for 8 in the series. McDowell looks in. Here's the pitch, shot down the right field line by Benora. That is just fair. That's going to be extra bases for Benora. Around first, he's going into second. Brantley hits the cutoff man, but they won't have a play. It is a stand-up, one-out double. Well, Benora slid, but he didn't have to. Double for Benora with one out. Here in the bottom of the seventh. Here's Happy Felsch. They say he held up. Ball one up high. McDowell deals. Ties him up. Swung on and missed. Felsch, 10-game hitting streak on the line. That one away, fouled off. So 1-2 as McDowell works to Felsch. Popped up, foul ground. Moving over is Easter. He'll get there. Puts it away for the second out. So 2 down here for the White Sox. Trying to cash in on the Benora double. Here's Carl Reynolds. Reynolds 0 for 2. McDowell looks in. Fastball just outside, 1-0. McDowell looks in, gets the sign, and delivers. Swung on and missed. Off-speed pitch away. Reynolds swings over the top of it. Makes it 1-1. The pitch. Off-speed pitch down in the dirt. 2-1 the count. McDowell looks in. The pitch. Breaking ball in there. Called strike. 2-2. Just a masterful effort from Sam McDowell so far in this one. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. And Sam McDowell picks up another strikeout to finish the 7th. We head to the 8th. Here at Comiskey, Indians lead the White Sox 6-0. So stepping in, Luke Easter. Easter 0 for 3. Looking to join in on the action here for the Indians today. Popped out his last time up. Benz delivers in there for a called strike. Luke Easter riding a 14-game hitting streak. Hadn't seen that note earlier on. So Easter looked to keep his hitting streak alive. This will probably be his last opportunity to do so. Here's the pitch from Benz. Misses down in the dirt. 28,600 and change on hand here for the White Sox. Easter turns this one around but foul. It's 1-2. Benz delivers. Easter, fly ball, shallow center. Jones coming on. He'll get under it. Plenty of time. Puts it away for the first out of the 8th.
The batter, number 8.
So that'll bring up Michael Brantley. Brantley 2 for 3. He's got a pair of singles and an RBI on the day. Benz delivers. Knuckleball in there for a called strike. pitch. Popped up, out in the left. Didn't carry as far as I thought it was going to. Ramirez fields that right on the back of the infield dirt. 4 out, number 2. So here's Ray Chapman. Chapman 2 for 4. Home run, single. Had a nice play in the field earlier on as well. Check swing there. Benz goes to a rare fastball. They say Chapman went around. So 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. So Benz ahead of Chapman 0-2. Benz looks in, deals. Swung on and missed. That one rode in on Chapman, fooled badly. Swings and misses. Essien throws down to first. And that retires the side. So good work there by Benz. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Indians 6, White Sox nothing. So leading off the bottom of the 8th, here's Alexei Ramirez. He's 0 for 2. He has flown out and grounded out today. You see the Yankees over the Orioles 5-1. Lou Gehrig his 28th home run of the season. Red Sox defeat the Blue Jays 3-2. Ramirez first pitch swing, ground ball to short. He's thrown out and there's one away. So here's Joe Creedy. Creedy 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. McDowell continues to be terrific. Royals lead the Rays 4-3 in the 8th. Mike Sweeney, a pair of home runs for Kansas City. Twins defeat the Tigers 4-1. Bert Blyleven picks up his 9th win. Mark Fidderich loses his 16th game of the season. Everything that could possibly go wrong for the Tigers has this year. Astros over the Mariners 6-1. Braves lead the Angels 3-1 in the 8th. McDowell misses up high. Mets defeat the Padres 7-3. Tom Seaver picks up the win, his 8th of the year. Joe Musgrove takes the loss. Gary Templeton, 3-run shot accounting for all the Padres runs, his 4th of the year. Two-one count, 1 down. McDowell working the Creedy. Swung on and missed. Kind of goes to 2-2. Here's the pitch from McDowell. Breaking ball, misses down low. So full count here. McDowell works. That one fouled off. Here's the pitch, just inside. McDowell wanted that one, but Creedy gets the 1-out walk. So here's Jim Essien. Essien 0 for 2. "93 pitches to this point for McDowell. Fastball in there for a called strike. McDowell looks in. There's the pitch, swung on a miss. So McDowell ahead of Essien 0-2 here. Looks in, he'll try to finish him off. Off-speed pitch away, Essien flails at it weakly. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. So McDowell racks up another strikeout. Order will roll over. Here comes Eddie Collins. Collins has struck out 3 times today. You are not going to see that again this season, most likely. Gives you an idea of how good McDowell has been. Rough series for Collins. He's only 1 for 10. Creedy on first, 2 down. McDowell delivers. Lashed out to short. Fielded by Chapman. He'll go the short way and flip to Jimenez, and the side is retired. So Sam McDowell continues his dominant outing. 3 hits allowed through 8. No runs. We head to the top of the 9th. Cleveland leads at 6-0. Top of the 9th, here's Andres Jimenez. 1 for 3, single and a run scored.
The second baseman, number 0.
To face Joe Benz. Splitter misses down low. Spitter, I should say. I do have to check that. Just for future reference. Like I said, there's no spitball in the game, so I use the screwball to replace a spitball a lot. But some guys also threw a screwball, so I don't remember which is the case for Benz, actually. Knuckleball in there for a strike is ahead of Jimenez, 2-1. Spitter down low. Jimenez swings and misses, 2-2. Goes golfing for that one. Fouls it off. Count stays at 2-2. Here to start off the top of the 9th. Knuckleball freezes Jimenez, who walks away somewhat sheepishly there. That one floats right down the heart of the plate. No spin at all on that. Beautiful pitch from Benz. So there's one down. Here's Manny Ramirez, 2 for 4. Big blow of this game, a 3-run homer that chased Chris Sale. Takes the fastball in there, 0-1. Here's the pitch from Benz. Ground ball to short. Alexei Ramirez throws out Manny Ramirez, and there's 2 down.
Number 14.
Yankees and Red Sox both win, so that race continues to be tight in the American League East. Here's Larry Doby. Doby 2 for 3. Pitch from Benz. Taken for a called strike. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. So Doby picks up another hit. A 2-out single up the middle. And that will bring up Jose Ramirez. Ramirez 1 for 4. Knuckleball in there for a called strike. Ramirez single and an RBI in this one. Knuckleball in there for a called strike, 0-2. Was able to find my Nair James guide to pitchers. So Ramirez pops this one up on the infield. Collins underneath it. That should do the inning. And it does, and the side's retired. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. White Sox, big hole to dig out of. Jones, Jackson, and Benora will try to get it done. 6-0 Cleveland as we head to the bottom of the 9th. So Joe Benz, yes, alright, so it's a spitball for him. He was basically a spitball or a knuckleball. So when the screwball shows up, it's actually a spitball. So here's Sam McDowell. McDowell trying to go for the complete game here. That was his 99th pitch. Steve Carsey, Joe Smith, Emmanuel Clase was also up throwing before. They would like to not have to go to their closer in a 6-run game, of course. Change-up, swung on and missed, 0-2. Change-up misses away, 1-2 the count. Pirates defeat the Marlins 2-1. Bob Friend, 7 2/3 scoreless in that one. This one pulled foul. Count stays 1-2. Expos 2-0 over the Diamondbacks. Slider in there, called strike 3. Down goes Fielder Jones. So Sam McDowell continues his dominant performance here. Here's shoeless Joe Jackson. Jackson 0 for 3. McDowell delivers. Jackson lashes this one the other way, slicing away. Manny plays it on the hop. Actually, a pretty good job there from Manny to hold shoeless Joe Jackson to a single. But runner is on. Here's Zeke Benora. Benora 3 for 3 on the day. Fastball fouled off, 0-1. Benora 6 for 9 in the series. He's done a very solid job for the White Sox at first base this season, for an offense that has not been good overall. Lines that one well foul. He's now behind 0-2. Pitch from McDowell. Benora, fly ball, center field. Coming on is Doby. It'll fall in front of him for a base hit. Jackson holds up, no reason to test Doby's arm there. The one-out single to center. And the White Sox have first and second. So fourth hit of the day for Zeke Benora. They're going to let McDowell stay in. Here's Happy Felsch. Felsch 0 for 3. Curveball misses away. McDowell looks in. Bullpen action going a little heavier for the Indians right now. Pitch down in the dirt. So Felsch gets a last crack at extending his hitting streak to 11. McDowell delivers. Swung on and missed, 2-1. Here's the pitch from McDowell. That one foul down the left field line, well foul. 2-2. McDowell up at 111 pitches. They're trying to get him to go the distance here. Another base runner might end that, but he fans Felsch. Another strikeout for McDowell. 2 down, and here's Carl Reynolds. Reynolds 0 for 3. First pitch from McDowell misses away. Reynolds 0 for 3, struck out his last time up. Fly ball. This one's hit well to the left. Ramirez going back. At the track, at the wall, looking up, and it's out of here. So Carl Reynolds cuts the deficit in half with a 3-run homer. His 10th of the season, and the White Sox trim the deficit to 6-3. Gotta think that's going to be all for McDowell. And that one's going to stick in the craw of Sam McDowell for sure. A terrific performance from him in what has been a down year. I understand wanting to get him in a complete game, but may have left him in a bit too long there. Hindsight always 20/20, of course. Still a terrific performance from McDowell. He will exit this game, though. And he will hand things over. So Manuel Clase is going to come in, try to get the save. 2-1, 21 saves on the year, 3.70 ERA. Apologize, this is actually not a... Actually, no, this shouldn't be a save situation in a 3-run game.
Up next to the White Sox, the shortstop, Alexi.
First pitch, Alexi Ramirez takes first strike. Clase looks in. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul. So Clase gets ahead of Ramirez 0-2. Looks in for the sign from Victor Martinez. Here's the pitch. Cutter misses away. One and two. In there, called strike 3, and that's the ball game. So Sam McDowell congratulated for a terrific effort. The Indians run their winning streak to 8. The White Sox losing streak extends to 9. Final line score: Indians 6 runs, 12 hits, no errors. White Sox 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. McDowell picks up his 6th victory. Chris Sale takes the loss. He falls to 8 and 9. Emmanuel Clase gets credit on there for a save. I actually believe that is incorrect, as McDowell had gotten the first 2 outs of the ninth, so Clase didn't pitch a full inning and didn't come in with the tying run at base, at the plate, or on deck. So I don't think he should have gotten the save there, unless there was a change in the save rule that I missed somewhere along the line. But regardless, he'll take the save. We won't really focus too much on that. Terrific job from Sam McDowell today. Desperately needed performance. Again, he wishes he did not give up that late homer. But regardless, that is a solid performance from McDowell. 11 strikeouts, only 1 walk. The walks have been his bugaboo all year. Didn't get to him today. Manny Ramirez, 3-run homer. Ray Chapman, a solo shot, counting for the bulk of the offense for Cleveland. Carl Reynolds, the 3-run home run with 2 outs in the ninth to ruin McDowell's complete game shutout bid. So that will wrap things up here from Comiskey Park. The Indians surging with their 8-game winning streak. We'll see if they can overtake the Twins before this final week of July runs out. Again, July 31st, there is a trade deadline. Trades are allowed in the league, but as I explained earlier on in this broadcast, I'm not expecting the trade deadline to really be particularly active. Certainly not this season, and probably for a couple of seasons yet, until guys start getting into their walk years and that kind of thing. Everybody's under contract for multiple years to their teams and for the minimum amount of money. So everybody's in a very comfortable financial situation. There's no need to deal anybody. So I'm expecting that the trade deadline will probably be fairly dull this first season of the FSBL. Obviously, if anything of significance happens, I will certainly make a note of it. But I appreciate you guys spending a bit of time with me here, as always, on the Legend Sports Universe YouTube channel. We are into the playoffs for the Legend Sports Universe Basketball Association. Playoffs will be starting within the week for the Legend Sports Universe Hockey League, and the Legend Sports Universe Football League has begun year 4 here on the channel. So hopefully there's lots of stuff here for you to tune into. Like, subscribe, click the bell to be alerted when I'm going on with a new broadcast. Most importantly, though, guys, thanks for watching. Be good to each other, and we'll talk soon.